This conference will now be recorded.
Okay. We are discussing the SAP Commerce Cloud. SAP Commerce Cloud is nothing but the SAP Commerce and Cloud. Now the question is, what is the purpose of SAP Commerce? By using SAP Commerce, we can create the shopping sites. Let's say you have a requirement to create the Chroma. Then we can use SAP Commerce. We have a requirement to create the Chroma. Then we can use SAP Commerce. So that means, in a simple word, by using SAP Commerce, we can create this kind of shopping sites. Now the question is, okay, now the question is, do we need to create this shopping site from scratch? Do we need to create these shopping sites from scratch? Answer is no need. Answer is no need. Then what? Then what? Right now we are planning to use SAP Commerce. Right now we are planning to use SAP Commerce. This SAP Commerce provides templates. This SAP Commerce provides templates. We call them as recipes. We need to install those. We need to install those. After installation, assume that installation is done. Okay, assume that installation is done. After installation, we get this kind of ready-made site. Look at here, please. We did not do anything. We did not do anything. We just installed. You can see the sentences. What I am trying to ask is that, okay, do we need to create this shopping site? Let's say Chroma. Let's say Reliance Digital. Do we need to create this from scratch? Answer is no need. Then what? Right now we are planning to use SAP Commerce. Right now we are planning to use SAP Commerce. This SAP Commerce provides recipes. Okay, this SAP Commerce provides recipes. You can see here. So this is the SAP Commerce software. Okay, so this is the SAP Commerce software, and inside the installer, this is the SAP Commerce software here. We did not do anything. This is the SAP Commerce software. We did not do anything. Inside the installer, you can see there is a recipes. We need to install this. We need to install this. We need to install this. For now, assume that installation is done. For now, assume that installation is done. After installation, you will get this kind of ready to use site. That means after installation, 80% of the site is ready. Okay, 80% of the code is ready, and 80% of the functionality is ready. So we will take these results as base and do customer specific changes, which will be around 20%. This is what we will do to bring Chroma website, to bring Reliance Digital website, and so on. So this is what we will do to create a Chroma website, Reliance website, and so on. So can you just recap this one quickly, please? Our requirement is what? Create a Chroma site, create a Reliance Digital site. If I want to create a Chroma site, if I want to create a Reliance Digital site, do I need to write the code from scratch? Answer is no need. Then what? Right now we are planning to use SAP Commerce. This is the SAP Commerce software, and that is providing the recipe called CX. We need to install it. For now, assume that installation is done. If anyone missed the previous session, because in the previous session we have completed the installation. If anyone missed the installation, no problem. For now, assume that installation is done. After installation, this kind of ready-made site we get it. This kind of ready-to-use site we get it. So that means search functionality is ready, navigation functionality is ready, category page functionality is ready. Okay, product page functionality is ready. All these are ready. Cart is ready, checkout is ready, like that. You will take these results as base and do customer specific changes to bring the Chroma, to bring the Reliance Digital, to bring the Bosch, to bring the Decathlon, that kind of shopping sites. That's it. That is what we are going to do. Next. So as I mentioned, we have completed the installation. You can see I started the server. We have completed the installation. last week. If anyone missed the installation, no problem. For now, assume that installation is done. After installation, this kind of ready-made site we get it. After installation, this kind of ready-made site we get it. Next, anyone completed the installation? Anyone completed the installation here?
Yes, Chenna.
Yes, very good. Okay, very good. Now, after installation, did you notice the server startup is taking more time? After installation, did you notice the server startup is taking more time? Did you observe that?
Yes.
Okay, server startup. So that means when you type, okay, when you type hybris server.bat, it's taking more time. It's taking more time. Now the question is, are there any ways to reduce the server startup time? Okay, are there any ways to reduce the server startup time? For that, we have different ways here. So for that, we have different ways. So the first one is, okay, first one is by default, when you start the server, there are so many cron jobs running background. There are so many cron jobs running background. This is the SAP Commerce software here. This is the SAP Commerce software. You please keep on observe. What I am trying to say that, are there any ways to reduce the server startup time? Answer is yes. So the first one is, when you start the server, let's say you started the server. When you start the server, then there are so many background jobs are running. Example, cron jobs. There are so many background jobs are running. Okay, so many background jobs are running. Example, cron jobs. Example, cron jobs. And we may not need at this point of time. When it is required, we will run those or we will schedule those. That's why we can turn off the cron job. How do I turn off the cron jobs? You can go to Hybris. You can go to the config. You can go to the local.properties. In the local.properties, this is the statement you need to add. In the local.properties, this is the statement you need to add. In the local.properties, this is the statement you need to add. Where is the local.properties? And this is the location. This is the location. So in this location, there is a file called local.properties, and you need to add this particular statement so that the background jobs, example cron jobs, it will not run by default. This way you can improve the server startup time. This way you can improve the server startup time. That's it. Then second one. When you start the server, please observe this one. When you start the server, there are so many tenants running and we are not using the tenants. Let them make empty. For example, you can see in the same file, in the same location, in the same file, in the same location, in the same file, in the same location, in the same file, you can see there is a installed tenants. By default, we have some tenants like a T1, T2 like that. And we are not using it, make it as empty. So installed tenant equal to empty. This is the second solution. Then I said by default we have tenants, right? Where can we see the default tenants? Where can we see the default tenants information? Okay. So the question is, where can we see the SAP Commerce provided default tenants? So the answer is what? So you can go to the Commerce, or you can go to the Hybris, you can go to the bin, you can go to the platform, open the project.properties. In the project.properties, so you can see here installed tenants. Okay, what are the default tenants? Can you please remember this? JUnit 4 T1 T2. Like this, we have the tenants. At this point of time, we don't want, so make it as empty, which will improve the performance. That's it. Where can we see the default tenants here? You can go to this location and the file name is project.properties. You can start remembering this file. I told already this file is having many entries. What can you remember? Can you recollect what are all the different entries we have in the platform project.properties? At least minimum 10 you need to explain here. Let's say you are attending one interview. They will ask the question, hey, can you explain some important properties which are there in the project.properties? Can you explain some important properties which are there in the platform project.properties? Can you tell me minimum 10 here? Minimum 10 you need to tell. Can you recollect once? So this is the question someone will ask. Can you tell me what are the important properties inside the platform project.properties?
HSQL database.
Yes, very good. Go ahead.
Yeah, and
okay, first one is what? Database settings. No need to mention HSQL. You can say database settings. Database settings, server settings, back office settings, cron job settings, session settings, log settings, okay, lazy loading settings. Next, you can see logger settings, lazy loading settings, mail pop-up settings, server startup, shutdown, cron jobs, cockpits, okay, HAC settings, back office settings, okay, pricing settings, language settings. Like this, we have so many. At least 10 you need to tell here. That way, it will prove that okay, yeah, you have understand. At least you open this file and have good idea on this file, because this is important in the real time to know what kind of functionalities are given for us, and order settings, like what is the order number and so on, so on. So anyway, we will keep opening this and try to understand a little bit more. But for now, that is what you need to remember. Okay, good. This is the second one. So the first method is what? Turn off the cron jobs, turn off the tenants. Then third one is in SAP Commerce, we don't write socket programming. Okay, or we are not using socket programming. If we are not using socket programming, is it worth to maintain corresponding jar files? If we are not using, then is it worth to maintain corresponding jar files, or we can delete those?
We can delete them.
Yes, we can delete those. Can you please understand these points, please? It's not only socket programming here. I'm just giving one example here. Like that in the real time, you are feeling that, oh, this particular area we are not using. Delete those corresponding jar files. Every jar file will take time to load it. So therefore, what I'm trying to say that in SAP Commerce, we are not using socket programming mostly. If you are not using socket programming, then why to use those jar files? Why to use those corresponding jar files? So therefore, if you are not using those, then is it worth to maintain corresponding jar files? Answer is no, we can delete those. Answer is no, we can delete those. For example, you can see here, I'm just showing the location because I already deleted. So can you see this one? You can go to your software. Can you see this one? I already deleted, that's why you cannot find it in my machine. So if you go here, platform, in the platform, go to the Tomcat and go to the lib, you will not find those because I already deleted. That's why I'm showing in the notes. Remove WebSocket jar files. Which is the location? You can see how I mentioned here. Everything is very clean and green. So you can go to the C colon, you can go to your software, platform, Tomcat, lib, you can remove those. Like this, we have n number of ways. Okay, after doing, okay, first solution, second solution, third solution, just do the build. What is the command for build? And clean all. just the build, do the build and start the server and observe the performance. Definitely it will improve the 50% here.
This is only for local or for production as well?
Production also you can try if at all you are not using this kind of things. Production also you can try. See, I am telling the ways here. This should give for you the bigger picture. Like this, what is the meaning of this one? Okay, you need to understand that there are so many background jobs are running. Some of the jobs we may not use, we need to turn off those. That's the conclusion. Then the second one is what? So there are so many tenants are there. Example, JUnit 4, F1, T1, sorry, T1, T2 like that. Mostly we are not using this. So we need to take it out those. Then third conclusion is what? Certain programming we may not use. We can delete those corresponding jar files. So you can see here, there are so many jar files. If at all you are feeling that, okay, something you are not using, let's say Jasper you are not using, then you can delete those kind of jar files, whether it is a production or wherever it is. But you need to make sure that if it is a production, going to this location and deleting is not worth, because this platform is provided for us. Platform is provided for us. That's why you need to be very careful when you are doing this kind of things in the production. But whatever I did in the first one and the second step, you can very well apply in the production also. First one and the second one, let's say you decided, yes, you don't want to start any cron jobs. When you start the server, yeah, you can do this in the production. Second one is what? So you don't have any tenants in your project, then you can do those things in the local data properties. Here there is no problem. First one and second one is no problem, but third one you should be very careful, because third one you are doing the changes in the platform. Generally we don't do any changes inside the platform. Maybe you can do for local, or after doing so much of investigation you can try. That's the conclusion. Okay, now come back here please. After doing first one, second one, do and clean all, start the server and observe the performance. Definitely you will see 50% of the performance has improved. That's what I mentioned here. Can you observe the notes please? Can you observe the notes please? As I mentioned, we are noticing that SAP Commerce Hybris server startup is taking more time. So that means if you go to this location and run this command, this is taking more time. Then how to increase the speed or decrease the server startup time? For that, solution one is turn off the cron jobs. You can see everything is mentioned very clean and green. You need to spend the time. Second one is remove the unused tenants. Third one is remove the sockets. Then after doing all these things, then you can start the server. You will see around 50% of improvement. So that means before doing this, let's say your server startup is taking 10 minutes or 20 minutes. Then after doing this, you will see it will take 10 minutes. That much of difference is there, you can try it out. That much of difference is there, you can try it out. Okay, next. Second point is, did you observe it is very difficult for you to know whether server is started or not, right? What is happening is that you already, I see some people send email. You typed hybrid server.bat and there are so many backgrounds are running and you are not sure whether it is exactly started or not, right? Yes or no?
Yes, Chenna.
Yes. I see some people already send email saying that, oh, I started 2 hours back, still my server is running. Yes, it is running. It is already started. But you did not notice that message. You did not notice that message. That's the problem. So therefore, what I am trying to say is that, okay, so the question is, how do I know the server started or not? Because there are so many messages scrolling. When you start the server, you can see there are so many messages scrolling. You are not seeing exact message what you need. So for that, what you can do is that you can check the log files. You can check the log files, or you can simply hit the hAC URL. What is the hAC URL? You can see here, you can simply hit the hAC URL like this. If you hit the hAC URL, if it is loading, then it is correct. It is started. Or you can check the log files. Now the question is how to check the log files. How to check the log files. If you want to check the log files, okay, if you want to check the log files, go to your software, go to Hybris. Now see this one here. We have studied the config folder, we have studied the data folder. Now we are studying the log folder. So what are the important files in the config folder? What are the important files in the config folder? What are the important files? Yes, local.properties and local extensions.xml file. Similarly, we discussed the data file. So our data folder, inside the data folder, we have the database, which is nothing but the HSQLDB. Now log files. Once server is started, whatever there, those will be recorded here. So therefore, go to the Hybris, go to the logs, go to the Tomcat. Go to the Tomcat. You can see day-wise log files are available here. You can see day-wise log files are not this one, sorry. Go to the logs. Yeah, Tomcat. What is today's date?
21st for you.
Yeah, why it is not showing August 1? Oh, okay. I am in the different file. Actually, I am using 2205, right? So 2205. Go to software. Go to commerce. That was a different version here. That was the 2011 version. Okay, now we can also answer that question here. How do I find out? I have installed, right? How do I know which version is that? We will also answer that question. That is also very important in the real time. So let me put that question. Let's say you join the project. You join the Chroma project here. You join the Chroma project and they have given this setup for you. Okay, they given the setup for you. So like this. So let's say they have given this. Then how do you know what version is that? Can you go and ask your lead? Yes, you can ask, but it's not worth to ask because you are an experienced person. You can find out. Okay, so the question is what? Let's say you joined for Chroma project and they have given the setup for you. How to find what version they are using? They were or they are using. This is another question we will answer because this is also important for real time. Now let's come back here, please. What is our question? When you start the server, we are not sure exactly server is started or not. So how do I check that? By going to the log files or simply hit the hAC URL. Let's go to the log files. How do I check the log files? Go to your software. So this is the software I'm using right now. Go to your software, go to the commerce, go to the Hybris, go to the data folder, go to the log folder, then go to the Tomcat. Now you can see day-wise log files are available here. Day-wise, for every day one log file will be created here. For every day one log file will be created. Now what is the today's date? For me it is a 21. For you it is a 22 if you are in India. Okay, whatever country you are, you can check. For me it is a 21. So therefore you can see with today's date one log file get created. You can go here and find out. You can go here and find out. You will see a message server startup in something like that. If you are seeing that message server startup, let me see whether I am finding it or not. Control F, server startup in. So you can see, do you see this one? If you are seeing this message, how much time it is taking for me? Tell me how much time it is taken for me.
58,000. I'm sorry, 5,82,000.
Yeah, 5 minutes, sir. Okay, around 5 minutes it has taken. So if you are seeing this message, that means your server is started. So after server started, so many messages are there. That's why you are not noticed whether it is server started or not. Whether server started or not. That's why please go to the and start habitual to open the log files also. Okay, this is how you can find out whether server is started or not. Now you can ask a question. What is the location? Let me put the location, please. So you can go here. You can go here and open the day-wise log files. Day-wise log files. Fine, that's very good. We can open that and see that. Now you can see there are so many log files here. So let me delete the old log files because it's not required, right? Too many log files is taking the memory also. You can delete them, not a matter, you can delete. Okay, that's it. Now you should ask one question here. This is my local machine, that's why I'm able to see the logs like this, right? Can you please pay attention? Can you please pay attention? This you must remember. Whether you go to support project, development project, whatever may be the project, this is important. What I'm trying to say that this, so to check the log files, I need to go to this location and open the file. As this is my local machine, that's why I'm able to do this. Assume that you join the Chroma support project. Okay, as this is my local PC or local machine, so I can go to this location, and open it, no problem. Now the question is, let's say you joined Chroma support project. Support project means what? You need to check production log files. You need to check production system log files. Let's say you joined a Chroma support project and you need to check a production system log files. Now production system, can you go like this in the real time? Can you go to this software folders, go this and all? Do you think that
Possible?
have this access? Very rare, right?
Yes.
Generally, how do you do? So mostly we will not have access to these folders. Okay. We need to go to this location. We need to check the production log files, and mostly we will not have access to this location. Mostly we will not have access to this location. Then how do you access? So please understand this one by one here. I'm typing very clearly so that you need to remember everything. How do you access in the real time? How do you access in real time? How do you access in real time? So we may use what? We may use putty or what is that here? WinSAP, yeah. WinSAP, this kind of softwares, and FileZilla like that, and connect to that location and open the logs, which is a little bit of lengthy procedure, right? Which is lengthy procedure, yes or no? Even let's say you are working in Java project, you are working in .NET project. How do you check the log files in the production? Java project, .NET project, how do you check the log files in the production? Let's say you are working in a Java project, .NET project here. How do you check the log files in the production? Am I disconnected?
By using putty or WinSAP, Splunk or Kibana we use.
So you using putty, Kibana, and so on, so. I will tell you the challenge with the Kibana also. I will tell you the challenge with the Kibana is the good. Okay, so now you can use the putty, you can go here, you can do this one, but this is a lengthy procedure, right? This is a lengthy procedure. We can use this for SAP Commerce also. This is a lengthy procedure. Then what to do? So SAP Commerce also provides. Can you please pay attention? So solution 1 is what? So I will type solution 1, solution 2. You can observe the differences. Solution 1 is what? We can use the tools like putty and all, connect to that location and open the logs. That is one solution. This is a lengthy procedure. Then what to do? SAP Commerce also provides ways, provides a way to access the logs via hAC. Now let's see the second solution. What is the second solution? How to check the logs via hAC. How to check the logs via hAC. So if you want to check the logs via hAC, you can go to the production hAC. Right now, this is the local host, right? Let's say production is Vishnu machine. So Vishnu PC machine host name and hit that. So this is the production hAC and log in with the credentials and log in with the credentials. And log in with the credentials, go to the platform and go to the support. Go to the platform and go to the support. Now you can see the log files here. Now you can see the log files here. I just deleted, right? That's why it is not showing any. I just deleted, right? That's why it is not showing any. But you can see there is a file here. You can select it, create and download the log file. You can select it, create and download the log file. Let me do one thing. Let me try to access one so that log file will be created. Yeah, it's created right now. Is it having anything? Yeah, it's having something. No, it's not having anything. Let me open this. Yeah, it's having something. Now I should see this, right? So let me go here, reload it. Yeah, you can see. Can you see this one? Just now, that file got created, right? That is appearing here. So therefore, you can go to hAC, you can go to the platform, you can go to the hAC, you can go to the platform and to download the corresponding day log file from here by clicking on create and click on download. Okay, once you download, it is available in your local machine. You can open it. It is available in your local machine. You can open it and you can go to the logs. You can go to the Tomcat and open it. So you can see it is the same one. Both are the same. This is how you can check the logs. This is how you can check the logs in the production system and all. This is how you can check the logs in the production system and all. Now the question is, there is a challenge here. There is a challenge here. So can you please understand the challenge with this second solution? Can you please understand challenge with the second solution? You need to pay attention, please. Whether you are a functional or technical, this challenge is important. Okay. So this solution too will work, no problem, but there is a challenge. What is the challenge? In case of production, we have multiple nodes. In case of production, we have multiple nodes. Anyone aware of what is the meaning of nodes or instances? People call it as a nodes or instances. Are you having idea on those or you want me to cover?
Multiple machines.
Multiple machines, multiple nodes, multiple instances. Again, please remember this here, as we have multiple people, whoever speak first, I will go with them. You want me to cover that concept? What is the meaning of nodes?
Yeah, please cover.
Okay, fine, thank you. Okay, let's say you have a restaurant. Can you please understand this one? You have a restaurant and so many people are coming to your restaurant. So many people are coming to your restaurant. I'm putting in the layman language so that we no need to forget, we will not forget. So many people are coming to your restaurant. When so many people are coming to restaurant, do you have only one servant or you will have multiple servants to serve the people?
Multiple.
Okay, so this is nothing but servant. When so many people are coming to your restaurant, are you going to have only one servant to serve all the customers, or you have multiple servants to serve the customers? Multiple servants. Similarly, you have the Chroma website. This is the simplest way to understand that complex topic. That's it. So you have the Chroma website or Reliance website. And for Chroma website, Reliance website, so many people are coming or not? So many people coming or not? Yes, right? Yes. When so many people are coming, are you going to have only one node, one computer, one instance to serve all the customer requests, or you will maintain multiple nodes, multiple computers, multiple machines? Now you can tell me. I already answered, right? Restaurant example.
We use multiple.
Yes, we will have multiple nodes, multiple instances, multiple computers. In a simple word, multiple nodes, multiple computers, multiple instances. So let's start use the word called nodes because that is what we will use. For understanding purpose, I am telling computers, but in the real time we use the word called nodes. So therefore, when so many people are coming to Chroma website, Reliance website to serve all the customers, one node is not sufficient. We will have multiple nodes. We will have multiple nodes. Now let's say this is Sudhakar. Okay, so now please understand this. Let's say this is Sudhakar and this is Vishnu. And let's say this is the Trivikram. Now, do you think that all these persons will be served by one node, or there is a possibility that this person request will go here, this person request may go here like that, and this person request may go here like that? Do you think that request will go to one computer? Simple example here. So many customers are coming to restaurant. Let's say these two people are served by this particular servant. This person is served by this servant, and like that, right? Similarly, Sudhakar request will go to this node, Vishnu request will go to this node, Trivikram request will go to this node. Now let's say Trivikram is giving a complaint saying that, hey, I am not able to create the order. Trivikram is giving a complaint saying that not able to create order. Okay, can you please understand the challenge, please? Okay, everything is working fine. Trivikram request is going here, Vishnu request is going here, Sudhakar request is going here, and so on, so on, so. Now Trivikram said, hey, I am not able to create the order. Now assume that Shruti is working in the support. Let's say Shruti is working in the support project. Now, how Shruti knows whether Trivikram request gone to this particular node, this particular node, this particular node? Because every node will have its own log file. So that means if you see here, this will have its own log file, this will have its own log file, this will have its own log file. How Shruti knows Trivikram request is served by this node, Trivikram request is served by this node, Trivikram request is served by this node? It's very difficult to find out. Then what the Shruti option is having now? What is the Shruti option is having now? She has to go to this node, check the log. She has to go to this node, check the log. She has to go to this node and check the log. So that means you need to go to the node 1, check the logs. Node 1, check the logs. Node 2, check the logs. So this is one of the nice thing you need to understand here. Node 3, check the logs. If you have more nodes, you need to go and check all the nodes logs. That is a challenge right now to find out the problem is created in which node. To overcome this kind of challenges, companies may use log monitoring tools. To overcome these kind of challenges, companies may use log monitoring tools. So example, what are the log monitoring tools? Example, Kibana. Kibana is one of the log monitoring tools. Splunk, S-P-L-U-N-C-K. Splunk is another log monitoring tool, and so on, so on. Now, what Kibana and log monitor? Kibana. Let's say your company is using Kibana. What Kibana will do? It will go and collect the logs from all the nodes. Let's say this is the Kibana. What the purpose of Kibana? It will go and collect. It will go and talk to all the nodes. It will go and talk to all the nodes, get the logs, and put in the common place so that Shruti can just go to the Kibana and find out the logs. Shruti can go to the Kibana to find out the logs. That's why when you attend the interviews, people ask, hey, did you what kind of log monitoring tools you have used? What kind of log monitoring tools you have used? You can tell Kibana, Splunk, like that. Please remember one note here. Please remember one note here. The note is, if your company using the CCV2, so that means SAP Commerce Cloud, SAP Commerce Cloud, then if your company is using CCV2, then Kibana by default Kibana is by default provided. Then Kibana by default provided. Kibana by default provided for your company. Is that clear conclusion? So what I'm trying to say that if your company using the CCV2, SAP Commerce Cloud version 2, SAP Commerce Cloud version 2, then Kibana is given for your company by default. Kibana is given for your company by default. If it is on-premise, if your company is not using the cloud and it's on-premise, then your company needs to set up the Kibana. Kibana are log monitoring tools. Kibana are log monitoring tools. So this is the overall conclusion you need to remember, and this is the meaning of Kibana. This is the meaning of log monitoring and how log monitoring you need to do in the real time. Let me know if you have any question till now. Let me know if you have any question till now. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. From functional point of view.
Not
This
just
conference will now be recorded.
okay. It's not just a question here. You need to understand the subject behind. Okay. Now next question is, let's say you joined Chroma project or Alliance project, whatever may be the project. You joined which is already running, and they have given, okay, they gave the setup. Now how do you know what version is that? Let's say simply they have given this entire setup for you. Simply they have given this entire setup for you, or simply they have given this entire setup for you. Then how do you know what version? Yes, you can ask your manager, lead and all, but that's not that worth to ask them. It is important for you to find out. Okay, solution one is, you can see here please. Let's say I go here, I go to the Hybris, I go to the bin, I go to the modules, open any one of the module. Let's say B2B commerce, something like that. Open any one extension. Open the resources, and there's a build number here. Open this. This will tell what is the version. This particular setup is having what version right now? This particular setup, whatever I have, is having what version? 2011, and patch number is 2011 and patch number is 10. Okay, good. Now let me show you the other one. So I said that today I'm using 2205, right? Let's see whether I'm using 2205 or not. So you can go here, you can go to the software, and you can go to Hybris, you can go to the bin, you can go to the modules, open any one extension. Let's say this time I will open this extension. Go inside this, go the resources, then open the build number file. So tell me which version I have right now?
2205.
2205, which is the patch number 0. 2205, which is the patch number 0. So this is the location, and you can find out there. This is the location, and you can find out here by opening that file. Or solution 2 is, assume that you already got the hAC access. Can you please pay attention? Can you please pay attention? Assume that you already got the hAC access. So that means they ask you to use the hAC, and they have given the username password. They have given the username password. Then you can go to the platform, you can go to the extensions, you can go to the platform, you can go to the extensions, you can go to the platform, you can go to the extension, and you can see what are all the different versions you have. So this is how you can find out what is the commerce version, and so on, so on. So not only the commerce version here, please remember this one more point. Let's say your company, note, your company is using SAP Commerce, and we also have industry specific accelerators, right? What are the industry specific accelerators we have? What are the industry specific accelerators we have?
Telco,
Telco,
electronics,
okay, telco, utilities, financial, and travel, senior citizen.
hardware.
Let's say your company is using SAP Commerce plus a travel accelerator. SAP Commerce will have its own version. Travel accelerator will have its own version. Yes or no? SAP Commerce will have
Yeah.
own version, and a travel accelerator will have its own version. Okay, SAP Commerce will have its own version, and travel accelerator will have its own version. So if you want to know what is the SAP Commerce version Chroma is using, what is the travel accelerator version Chroma is using, best way is you can go here and find out. Best way is you can go here and find out. So you will see somewhere else travel, something like that, and see what is the number you are seeing. What is the number you are seeing? And as I told you, right? So let me show you the supported accelerator versions for the commerce. Let me show you the supported. This is important for leads and architects. Let me show you the supported accelerator versions for SAP Commerce. You cannot use the accelerator versions whatever you want here. You need to select the supported versions. How do I check that? Go to the help.sap.com. Go to the help.sap.com, and we are part of what? Commerce Experience or CX. We are part of CX, and go to the SAP Commerce Cloud. Go to the SAP Commerce Cloud. Go to the SAP Commerce Cloud, and go to the SAP Commerce. Go to the SAP Commerce Cloud. Go to the SAP Commerce. Industry. Okay, can you see here? Industry Accelerator Compatibility Matrix. You can click on this, or you can open this in a new tab. Okay, can you see this one? Can you please pay attention? If your commerce version is 2205, can you please pay attention? Can you please pay attention? This is very important for leads and architects, because whenever you want to use this kind of third party, it is important for you to know what is supported accelerator versions. If your commerce version is 2205, then what is the financial accelerator you need to use? Financial accelerator you can use 2208. 2208. 2208 means what is the meaning? This month, August 2022 year, this version was released. Now can you see this one, please? If you are using 2205, what is the travel accelerator version?
2208.
2208. Like this, you have the industry specific accelerator corresponding versions for each commerce version. For each commerce version. Okay, now let me ask the question. Let's say you have the commerce for commerce. Let me ask this question. For commerce 2205, am I having the supported senior citizen accelerator? For 2205, am I having the supported senior citizen accelerator?
No.
See, no. Then what to do in this situation? You need to check with SAP what to do. Okay, mostly they will tell that, okay, take your own decision. Take your own decision, that's what they will tell. Or they will tell that, oh, we are developing, give us some time so that we will release the compatible version. Like that they will tell. Like that they will tell. So that is how you can find out the corresponding information. That is how you can find out the corresponding information. Tell me.
This financial accelerator which is released in this month, right? But if we started much before, like in May and all, then how it is?
That's what you need to upgrade it, or you need to make sure you have taken the well decision in the organization. Okay, you need to discuss with them. We don't have corresponding supported travel version. Okay, what to do? Discuss with your organization. Let SAP know. Okay, so that if any challenges, you will get the win-win situation from all the parties. Otherwise, it is better to wait and start the project once you have the corresponding all the supported versions. If you don't have the supported versions, have the enough conversation and communicate to the corresponding parties, then start the project. Okay, all right. Now let's come here, please. That's how
Do
we
you
can
have
check.
access to download these travel accelerators and financial accelerators?
Sorry.
Or do you have from the SAP help? Can we download these accelerators? Like
Yes, the same place wherever you are downloading the commerce, same place we
okay.
can download these industry-specific accelerators.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, yeah. So you just need to type that names, whatever I shown you just now, then it will show you the corresponding accelerator. There you can download it. All right, let's continue the next one. We have seen the solution for this, all these things. The next one more thing is that, okay, one more point you need to understand. When you do the build, so please understand this one also. This is one more nice concept you need to understand. When you do the build means what? And clean all. Was it taking more time?
Yes.
Was this taking more time?
Yes.
Answer is right. It is taking around 15 minutes. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. When you do the build and clean all, it is like server startup just now I told. Now when you do the build, so that means you go here. Okay, you go here, go to the software, go to Commerce, go to Hybris, go to the bin, go to the platform, and you type and clean all. This is also taking more time. This is also taking more time, around 15 minutes or 20 minutes. Now in real time, please understand this point very clearly. In real time, let's say Kumar is the developer. Kumar, or let's say RRS is the developer. RRS is the developer. And he do lots of changes. He do, okay, he do the lots of changes. Then do you think that he will do changes correctly every time, or he has to do the build, check the results, and come back and do the code changes again? Do you think that he will do all the changes at the correctly, or there is a possibility that he will write some code, okay, do the build, start the server, check the results, and come back?
We'll check again and we'll keep restarting.
Yes, what is the possibility? So he does the changes, then do the build. Let's say build is 15 minutes. Then start the server. Say server is again 15 minutes. So that means for every change, he has to wait what? Around 30 minutes to check the results. For every change, he has to wait around 30 minutes to check the results. Is it really worth here? Is this really worth it? So let's say I change a small file here. Let me show you an example. Let's say I go to the cart page control.java. Let's say I go to the cart page control.java and I just did some change here. Or I just added some code here. Now to see that results is working or not, then what I need to do? I need to go here, do the build, start the server, check the results. For that I need to wait 30 minutes. So this will decrease. Okay. This is taking more, or this is, in a simple word, this is wasting the developer time. Wasting the developer time. Then what to do? So we can use hot deployment tools. One of the example is JRebel. So JRebel is a nice one here. JRebel is the nice one, but the problem is it is a licensed one. So we also have a free one. So this is a licensed one. We can also use some other free tools. But if you are using the free tools, your company may not agree. If you are using the free tools, your company may not agree. Hard deployment tools. What is the meaning of hard deployment tools? Let's say you are having JRebel. Now you do the change. Okay, come to the website, you will see the results. You do the change, come to the website, you will see the results. That's the power of hard deployments. No wastage of developer time. No wastage of developer time. But JRebel is a licensed one. Your company may not provide that license. If your company not providing, then you can also use free tools. If you are using free tools, check whether your company is allowing or not, and so on, so on. So these are only the ways. If your company says, oh, I don't give the licensed one, I don't allow the free tools, then obviously your developer needs to spend the time here, which you need to consider that for the calculations.
What are the free tools we have?
You can just go and type it, okay? So go and type hard deployment tools. Hard deployment tools. So there are so many hard deployment tools. Imagine, okay, deployment tools. So there is something here. You can type. So you can see there are so many. Deployment tools in the next gen. Not this one. Okay, so Java deployment tools. So you can see here, you'll find so many things in the internet.
Okay.
Yeah, so this one, hotspot is there. Sorry, hot swap. So as I said, JRebel. Like that, you can find out some of the tools. Okay. But again, I told the conclusion. Conclusion is what your company may allow, may not allow. If your company is not giving the licensed one, if your company is not giving the free one, as a lead or architect, you need to give this. You need to give the time for the developer. You cannot just go and ask a developer every half an hour, give me the status, give me the status. Because even though he is doing one line of code change, build and server startup is required, which is going to take for him. And don't think that whatever he has written will work in one instance. He may need to check and rewrite again, which is the reality. If you go and ask every 1 hour status, people get some kind of frustration. So that's what we keep seeing in the real time. So we need to respect their work. We need to consider all these things for the calculations and so on and so on. So that's it. Okay, all right. That's what we covered, how to check the logs. All these things were discussed. Okay, the next one is, can you come here, please? Can you come here, please? Let me go to hAC, as we are having hAC, right? So this is the hAC. Assume that this is the production system. Now, do you think that if it is a production system, do you think that only one person will have access to this, or multiple people can have the access to this? Assume that this is the production hAC. Do you think that only one person will have access to this, or multiple people can have access to this?
Multiple can access this.
Multiple people can access to this. So Kumar can have access to this, Chenna can have access to this, and RRS can have access to this. Now the question is, do you think that all the people should have everything, or I need to restrict it?
Restrict based on role.
Obviously, this is a production, right? We need to restrict it. We cannot give same access for all the people. Let's say Chenna is a supporting person where he need to check the logs. That's it. Then I need to give only logs. Please understand the scenarios here. What I'm trying to say that assume that this is a production hAC, and Kumar is having access, Chenna is having access, RRS is having access. Now the question is, do you think that all the people will have all the options, or I need to restrict it? Do you think that all the people will have all the options, or we need to restrict?
Restrict.
Definitely we need to restrict here, because this is the production system. Okay, let's say Chenna is working for support project and he needs to download the logs. If he needs to download the logs, I should give only download option, that support option. Okay, now let's say Kumar is a database person who monitor the database, then monitoring database is fine for him. Let's say Naveen is the developer where he want to execute some impexes flexible search queries, then these options are sufficient for him. If I give everything, if I give all the options for everyone, then there can be some mess up. There can be some mess up. So therefore, it is important to restrict the hAC options. Okay, so therefore, what is the next question? It's important to restrict hAC options. Now, let's say you are a functional consultant. Okay, you are a functional consultant. You are talking to customers. Customer will tell what are the tools available. Let's say you said hAC. What is the hAC? They will ask. You said admin console. Admin console is having so many options. Hey, these are the so many options. Can we restrict for some of the people? You need to tell yes. How to restrict? I am showing. If you want to practice, you can practice. But the end, your conclusion is what? Yes, there are options to restrict it. That's what you need to understand. And technical people should know how to do this. Okay. Now I want to restrict the options. It is important to restrict the hAC options. For Kumar, let's say I want to give only database options. For Chenna, I want to give only support option. For Naveen, I want to give flexible search queries, impexes, all these options. How to restrict the options? Step number 1, I need to create the users first. Okay, create users first. Okay, create users. Now, let me ask the questions. You take any e-commerce. How many types of users will be there? You take any e-commerce. When I say you take any e-commerce, what does that mean? It can be Oracle e-commerce, it can be SAP e-commerce, it can be Magento e-commerce, whatever it may be. You take any e-commerce. How many types of users will be there? Tell me.
Permanent and guest.
Anonymous user, admin user.
Okay. So these are the functionalities you need to understand. You take any e-commerce, how many types of users will be there? Only 2 here. So the first one is people who manages the e-commerce site. Manages the e-commerce site. So that means, so let's say this is the e-commerce site. I go on to create the product. I go on to create the content. People who manage the e-commerce site, we call them as what? Employees. Okay, people who manage the e-commerce site, employees. Then the second one is what? People who uses the e-commerce site. People who uses the e-commerce site, we call them as what? Customers. Let's say I go on to place the order. Let's say I go on to check the product. Then I am called as what? Customer. So there are 2 types of users. How many types of users are there? There are 2 types of users. People who uses the e-commerce site, people who uses the or who manage the e-commerce site. Who manage the e-commerce site, we call them as employees. Who uses the e-commerce site, we call them as customers. Now employees are so many types, right? Employees are so many types, yes or no? So let's say example,
Yes.
there can be some employees who manage the content. Employees who manage the content, we call them as what? Content managers. Okay, who manages the content? Who manages the content? We call them as what? Employees who manage the content, we call them as what?
Content management.
Yes, content managers. Next, so there can be some employees who manage the products. Let's say create the product, modify the product, update the price of the product and all. Who manages the products? We call them as what?
Product
Product
managers.
managers.
Product managers. You need to start remembering these functionalities here. In the real time, these kind of things will be there in all the projects. Next, let's say you call the Reliance, and you said I am not able to place the order. When you call the Reliance, are there any employees who will answer your call? And we call them as what?
Support agent.
Customer service.
Support agent or customer CS agents. Customer support agents who create the tickets. Customer support agents who create the tickets. Like this, there are so many employees. Like that, there are so many employees. Similarly, customers are there. Customers, are we having any customer types or not?
Yes.
Yeah, guest customer permanent.
Very good. Now, can you please see this one? Right now, I am in Reliance. Right now, I am in Reliance. Did I log in here? Did I log in here? No. But still, I'm able to go here. I'm able to go here. I'm able to add the item to cart. You can check. So let's say I will enter 5,90,000. Okay, add item to cart. I did not provide any information, but still I'm able to add item to cart. You can see. Still I'm able to add item to cart. So that means in this situation, system will consider me as anonymous customer. Okay, so therefore people do not provide any of their information. We call them as what? Anonymous customers. People who do not provide any of their information is called anonymous customer. Okay, now let me ask a question. People who do not provide any of their information, we call them as anonymous customers. Customers are only three types here. Customers are only three types. Anonymous customers. Then the second one is, let me ask a question. You go to bookmyshow.com. Can you book a ticket without login? Can you book ticket without login? In a bookmyshow.com, can you book a ticket without login?
No.
No, you don't watch the movies, Ravi. In the bookmyshow.com, can you book a ticket without login? Answer is
no.
We can. Yes, we can hear. How? By providing unique ID, which may be mobile number or email address. Is that possible in the Book My Show?
Yeah,
Yes.
but
It is possible. So that means what? Can I book the ticket without email, without login? Answer is yes. How? Okay. How? By providing unique ID, which is nothing but email ID or mobile number. So if you provide your unique ID, if you provide your unique ID, then you will be called, you will be considered guest customer. What is the first one? Anonymous customer. What is the first one? Anonymous customer who do not provide any information. Then what is the second one? Who provide unique information, unique ID. Who provide unique ID, we call them as what?
Guest customer.
Guest customers. So therefore, anonymous customer means who do not provide any information. Guest customer means what? Who provide unique ID. It may be email ID or mobile number. Now let me ask one more question. We have irctc.co.in, right? irctc.co.in. Can I book the ticket without login?
No.
Answer is no. So therefore, you have to log in. You have to log in. Okay, now you have to log in. So obviously these are called login customers. Login customers. Obviously we call them as login customers. So therefore, how many types of customers are there? Guest customers, anonymous customers, login customers. Now, if you observe here, both guest customers and login customers are able to place the order. Yes or no? Are
Yes.
able to place order. Then what is the difference? Able to place order. Able to place order. Then what is the difference?
They are not authenticated guest customers.
Okay, then what is the difference? Can you please understand this? Both guest customers. See, in this case, in the book my show, by providing my unique ID, I am able to place the order. Here, by login, I am able to place the order. So that means both guest and anonymous customer, both guest and guest and login customers are able to place the order. Then what is the difference? So please remember this. The first one is for guest customer, best customer. For guest customer, in the system, no profile created, but for login customers, in the system, profile will be created. Then second one is, okay, let's say I go to here, place the order as a guest. If I place the order as a guest, do I see my account functionality? Do I see my account functionality? My account functionality means what? What are the different orders I placed? What are my 6 months orders? What is my address? Can I save my payment? Can I save my address? No, all those are not possible. So therefore, second one is for guest customer. For guest customer in system, no my account, or for guest customer, my account is not possible. This is a good functionality here. My account is not my account functionality. Let me use the word called my account functionality. Not there, not possible. What is the meaning of my account functionalities? Example, can you list the functionalities of my account? Okay, I want to see list of the orders. Okay, list of the orders, not possible. Okay, save address, not possible. Okay, next save payment card info, not possible. Like this we have save cards, not possible. These are all not possible for guest customer. For login customer, all these are possible. For login customer, my account is possible. When I say my account is possible, so that means login customer can save or can see last 6 months orders, can save the addresses, can save the payment methods or payment cards, can save the cards, and so on, so on. So that is the main differences with the login customer and the guest customer. That is the main differences with the login customer and the guest customer. So if you want to allow guest customers, or if you are thinking that these functionalities are important, if you think that these functionalities are important, don't implement the guest customer for your company. If you think that, okay, yeah, this may or may not let me allow the guest customer functionality, then you can allow the guest customer functionality. So therefore, now the conclusion is what? Create. Okay, so create user is the first step. To create the user, we need to understand the user functionality. So you take any e-commerce site, there will be two types of users, employees and customers. There are many employees. There are three types of customers: anonymous customer, guest customer, and login customer. Now, what is the step I need to do? Can you come back to our original discussion? What is the step I need to do?
Create user.
Tell me, in this situation, user is what? Employee or customer? Now tell me, do I need to create an employee or customer?
Customer.
Employee.
Employee you need to create, because who will see what is our requirement? Requirement is restrict the hAC options.
Yes.
Yeah.
Employee with roles.
Who will use hAC? Employees or customers?
Employees.
Employees. So therefore, we need to create the employees, not the customers. And one more point you need to remember is, as I said, right, one more point you need to remember is, now we have two entities, right? are two types. Employees we have, customers we have. For employees and customers, the parent is what? For employees and customers, the parent is what?
User.
And the user parent is principal. User parent is principal. This hierarchy you need to please remember. Okay, this hierarchy you need to remember. Employee, customer, parent is user, user parent is principal. This principal is having a ID attribute. This principal is having a ID attribute. That's why if you go to back office, so after installation we get a tool called back office. After installation we get a tool called back office. This is the tool we get it after installation. This is the tool we get it after installation. If we go to back office, this is the tool we get it after installation. If you go to back office and if you observe, you can see user. I expand it. Within the user, what do I have? Employees and customers. Within the user, I have employees and customers, and I also have user groups. Okay, so that's why if you see the complete hierarchy, this technical people should remember. No, not this one. Let me go above. There is a small picture for it. Maybe it is there in the second here only. Yeah. This is the picture. Can you look at this one, please? As I mentioned, user is having, or we have a customer type, employee type, which are parent. For that, parents is user type, and the user is also having a parent called principal. And we have the user groups. For user groups, parent is principal group. For principal group, parent is principal. In a simple word, for entire user journey, what is the parent? For the entire user journey, what is the parent?
Principal.
Excellent. For entire user journey, principal is the parent, which is having a ID column. So that's all for today, and we will continue tomorrow how to restrict the hAC options, how to create the users, groups, all those things. We'll continue tomorrow. If you have any questions, you can go ahead and ask now.